The crypto markets are under pressure once again, and XRP is feeling the weight. After a brief moment of optimism, we're back in the red, with XRP dropping around 4% and most of the crypto market following suit. While some assets are holding neutral or even slightly green positions, the overall sentiment is clearly shifting, again, toward uncertainty and caution. The main driver behind this new wave of volatility appears to be a flurry of negative headlines tied to geopolitics and international trade. In just a few hours, several heavy statements have landed, and each one adds to the growing unease. Donald Trump has just announced a 25% tariff on all vehicles not manufactured in the United States. This kind of economic nationalism immediately raised tensions, and Canada's Prime Minister was quick to respond, calling it a direct attack on Canadian industry. With this, we're looking at potential retaliatory tariffs not only between the US and Canada, but also with Mexico, Europe, and perhaps others. Interestingly, China seems to be avoiding this particular storm, likely because of recent developments with TikTok being granted renewed access in the US. If that wasn't enough, the president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, added fuel to the fire by stating publicly that Russian President Vladimir Putin won't live much longer. These kinds of declarations only escalate tensions, especially at a time when the world thought we might be nearing a peace agreement between Russia and Ukraine. But as has happened before, strong words are often followed by softening stances, and we may very well see another reversal in tone soon. Meanwhile, the European Union is advising its citizens to stock up on food and essentials for at least 72 hours in anticipation of potential conflict with Russia. While a full-scale war between Europe and Russia seems unlikely, and arguably not in the interest of any party involved, the messaging alone is enough to unsettle markets. It's part of a wider strategy of influence and, many would argue, manipulation. Because this isn't just about war. It's about power, control, and shaping economic conditions in favor of specific players that, let's be clear, this isn't just the US pulling strings. Other nations, including Ukraine, have their own motivations and playbooks. The pace at which Zelensky shifts narratives is telling. The market doesn't respond well to this kind of inconsistency, and it's part of what we're seeing now with these rapid swings in crypto valuations. But now let's shift to a different kind of manipulation: market projections. Bitwise Investments has released its forecast for XRP through the year 2030, and let's just say it raised some eyebrows. According to their models, a bearish case places XRP at just 13 cents. The bullish scenario puts it at $12.68, and the absolute best case scenario projects a price of $29.32. Now, here's why this feels like another coordinated narrative push. In just the past 2 months, XRP has already gone from 50 cents to $3.40 at its peak. That's a 5x move in weeks, not years. So when Bitwise suggests that the most we can hope for over the next 5 years is a 4x or 5x return, it starts to feel less like analysis and more like deliberate underestimation, especially considering that we're approaching resolution in the long-standing SEC lawsuit, plus the increasing utility of XRP via Ripple's expanding adoption of Ripple Dollar, institutional partnerships, and the upcoming ETFs. Suggesting that XRP could return to 13 cents by 2030 seems disconnected from the actual trajectory we're witnessing, unless something truly catastrophic were to occur. And even then, it's worth remembering that XRP held much of its value even during the height of the lawsuit. It didn't crash to these lows then, so it's hard to imagine it would do so in a post-utility, ETF-ready environment. That there's a strategy here. It's about shaking out retail investors, lowering confidence, and creating space for institutions to accumulate quietly while public sentiment is low. You see it every time a major economic announcement drops, like a new tariff policy, and suddenly the markets pull back. It's not coincidence. It's cause and effect. The connection between macroeconomic policy and the crypto space is real. Trade wars, interest rate decisions, regulatory changes, all of it spills into how crypto behaves. And as we're seeing now, each layer of geopolitical tension adds another wave of uncertainty. But if you've been in this space long enough, you know this is how the market breathes. It contracts before it expands. It tests confidence before rewarding it. And now it's your turn. What do you think about Bitwise projections? Do you see XRP hitting just 13 cents in 2030? Or do you think we're being played and that the real numbers are going to surprise everyone? Let's keep watching, keep learning, and most of all, keep thinking critically. The road to mass adoption is rarely smooth, but it's being built piece by piece right in front of us.